Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone and everything else. I hope you're having a great evening. I certainly am. That's why I'm filming this video here, because I feel like making a video about it. And, given the purpose of the video, it's quite relevant, actually. And I want to start off by saying thank you all so much for the amazing support you have shown the first part of Resolve. I am very, very thankful, and I very much appreciate how much you appreciate and enjoy these videos. That's really all I have to say. Thank you for enjoying it. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the wonderful comments that I got from um, outside of YouTube, mostly, and from in YouTube as well. Thank you for every comment, really. I enjoyed listening. I enjoyed reading all of them. So thank you. From the bottom of my dark, bitter, and cold heart, thank you for enjoying Resolve. Now, I wanted to talk about what's been going on in the background behind this project and what will be going on in the future. Just so you guys have an idea of where to continue with it all and where it already really began to begin with, so to speak. Some nice ASMR for you there. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I want to start off with how I got to the idea in the first place, because I am certain there's a few people scratching their heads thinking, how the fuck did I come up with a video of a plastic soldier getting chased around by an Indominus Rex? Essentially, what you need to know is the entire story is essentially a metaphor or an allegory for a real story, which is why the beginning credits stated as based on a real story. That's kind of the idea behind it all. And another curious thing to give you a little hint at the meaning behind all of it, the credits state myself as playing the main character, Harvey Stewart, even though I have not once had Harvey speak throughout the entirety of the first short film. He will start speaking. Don't worry. His voice will rise beyond all else, and you will hopefully enjoy it because it's going to be my voice. And for good reason. Harvey is supposed to be the vessel for myself, essentially, to represent myself going through this whole metaphor of a story. And it's essentially a metaphor for me living through the past few years, which it might sound a bit, boring, given, another story about an artist going through a pandemic for the first time. It's not that. It actually has nothing to do with the pandemic, but rather it has more to do um, with my own psychological case throughout all of it, and the many things that affected my psyche throughout that time, and the many things that occurred as a consequence or as a result from it, from that affection. That's not the right word. From that I would say, uh, what's the word? I'm trying to figure out what the word for it is. Let's just say effect. Yeah, I think effect fits it well. The consequences of the past affecting my psyche. That's basically what you need to know. That's basically the meaning behind resolve. And resolve itself as a title, that we will resolve in another day because I still haven't finished it. To give you an insight into how long the project is going to be, like in its entirety, I'm planning 3 parts. Part 2 is next, part 3 comes after. Yeah, that's just about it. And now let's. Actually, yeah, I could give you some insights into the production of it all. Because that's also an interesting story. I rarely, if ever, talk about the production of my videos, and I think it's quite a shame actually, because the production of these videos itself is also, in my opinion, just as interesting as the videos itself. So let me just get to you with how I got the idea in the first place. I essentially took certain elements um, from whatever was lying in the toy box today, and I thought I could make a pretty intelligent short film out of all of these things. Something quite original, in fact, that I could build up on and increase my skills on, and kind of just spread my wings on. Something that Phileas loses the bet wouldn't have necessarily done for me, as far as I'm concerned, because I wasn't necessarily planning to revolutionize anything with Phileas loses the bet, which is still a project in the making. I'm still figuring out how I want to make that one. It's still delayed indefinitely. I still don't have a proper date for it, and it's probably going to be set back for quite some time, actually. But fear not, it will come out Sunday. I promise you that. So just wait up. Until then, you can enjoy Resolve. That's all I have to say. And the first idea I got was essentially just what the whole project is about right now. What the whole film is, um, plot wise, is about. Except for the fact that the Indominus wasn't even going to be in it. Um, Originally, the whole story was going to play out the same way, right? But the original idea was to have a raptor instead of an, a giant theropod like an Indominus Rex, because I wanted to creep into that slow moving fear factor, which is a bit hard to achieve with a bigger creature. But then I thought to myself, I wanted to use big stuff, big guns, big music, big scene. And only a big creature fits that kind of scenery. If I had him shoot a raptor, that would have just been underwhelming. So I replaced the raptor that was originally going to be the villain of this first part, and an Indominus Rex figure I got gifted by a friend took its place and made um, a good scene out of it. I'll have to admit, it did a good job, all in all. So yeah, that's their story behind that. Production elsewise, there were a few reformations, technologically speaking. For instance, the whole idea of facial animations never got to me until I tried it out in a few test shots that I made prior to Resolve's production, which looked pretty good. They In fact, it astounded me. Just how much I could actually get out of this software I have on my phone here. If you want to know, I'm actually just using my phone to edit all of this shit, even to animate it. Like um, some of the like Gmod scenery, of course, that's my computer, but that's not hard to do. The editing and all of that, that's all done on my phone, and I'm always surprised by how much I can get out of it. That should be a lesson to you guys, right? To any like aspiring animators. You never lack in like equipment in that sense, unless you, long as you have a phone that works and that you can install enough software on to like cover every necessary field, that being editing, animation, and um, maybe something regarding sound design, then you have everything you need, right? At that point, the rest is just you. Just take the wheel at that point and see how far you can get. It'll take some time, right? But you'll get somewhere. Resolve proved that for me, and I have much more coming up. So let's see how far I can still get. And by the way, um, speaking of the whole steering wheel metaphor, the brakes are broken. Back to the point. Um, Other technological advancements. Nothing else really. I managed to integrate in some way, shape, or form the idea of three-dimensional sound, being that a few sounds are quieter than others, which probably doesn't count, I'll admit that, but it's something. It's a step in that direction. I had been thinking of 8D sound design for a bit of time now. There's absolutely no sort of cheap enough software to actually um, do this on my phone, silly, so I'd have to do this on my PC. But if any of you have any idea how I can get 8D sound design for relatively cheap, or if preferably free, then feel free to comment. Feel free to comment down below. I'll be sure to give it a look. More drinking ASMR. I'm drinking multi-vitamin juice, by the way. You should drink that stuff. It's pretty good. Um, yeah. What's for the future to come? I will be working on Resolve Part 2, as previously stated. And Resolve Part 2, believe me, it's going to be grand. At least that's what I hope it will be. That's what I'm imagining it to be. I have a lot of ideas for Part 2. Um, what I'm lacking at the moment right now is just merely like figures and stuff, props, assets, stuff like that. Soon as I get those done, production will start right away. Long as there's no undeniably important exams in the way, as there was with many other projects. In fact, Resolve Part 1 had been delayed for quite some time simply because of exams. I think I might have been able to finish it even earlier if it wasn't for math and all that stuff that I had to focus on, because I suck at those things. I generally suck at like fucking science-based projects, but fucking I'm not a fucking idiot. Like I have to take my time with this stuff. Like, one thing before the other. You get my point? One hand washes the next. Vice versa. That's also an important thing if you're an animator, right? Especially if you're like an animator my age. Take your time. Sort your stuff out. Sort out what you want to work with, how you want to work through it, all that stuff. Time is your greatest enemy as much as it is your greatest friend as an animator, especially if you're a stop motion animator. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, take your time, enjoy it. If you're not enjoying what you're animating right now, I suggest you try and make some reformations. If it just doesn't work out, I don't know, just like find a way, right? I wouldn't want to work on a project that I just don't enjoy working on, right? Because eventually that just leads to like, that doesn't lead to any good. Right? No perfect project or masterpiece has ever been made with a lack of passion. That's never been the case. So yeah, passion, time, all that stuff. Put it all in the bucket. Aside from that, uh, I don't want to tell you anything more about part two because I don't want to spoil you with anything. You're just gonna have to wait and see. um, there will be a few new voices with it. Infinity Addy will make a return. I promise you. I've got him locked in my basement. He has no choice. Um, and I'll probably steal some other people as well to work on it for me. I won't pay them. I'll tell you this: if you want to work for my project, unfortunately, you're not getting paid because I'm not getting paid either. This is all free work. Um, yeah, but it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be grand. I promise you. If it's not grand, if it's not amazing for my standards, slap me in the face as hard as you fucking can. Just like knock me out. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you here? Okay. Yeah, I think that just about sums it all up. If there's any more questions regarding Resolve that you think deserve an answer at this point in time, please feel free to tell me in the comments below. I always read the comments. I always give it my all. So comment. Comment as much as you want. I'll read it all. Just don't spam. Nobody likes spammers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great time. I hope you learned a few new things as much as I have learned about myself along the way. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Good day.